Hello, and welcome back to Cape Corner, where we explore the history, story, and cultural impact of different character or group every episode. I'm Blue.
And I'm Jay.
Uh, if there is any kind of audio glitchiness today, we apologize. Jay's modem runs with a hamster on a wheel, so we're making the best of what we got. But today we decided to treat ourselves. We're going to talk about a character we've wanted to talk about for a long time, has been on multiple polls, and has just not been voted for. So today we're going to talk about the hero of the Citadel. Is there any other aliases? I gotta start looking this shit up.
Trying to think. I think it's just the
It's just
hero
the
of
hero of the
Citadel is
Citadel,
like,
right?
yeah, I think that's it.
Okay, we're going to be talking about Commander Shepard. Now, bear in mind, Commander Shepard is a very customizable character. We are going to stick largely with the closest to canon, which is the quick start Commander Shepard, which is the most boring. But I will also try to throw in whenever customizable options could differ the story of Shepard. Okay, so to start, the quick start Shepard is named John Shepard. Once again, boring as hell name, but it doesn't matter because everybody just calls him Shepard or Commander. He is also, first of all, obviously he's a guy in the quick start. I mean, there is also a quick start female option, and a lot of the games have like a reversible cover where it can show either a guy or a girl Shepard on the front. But I think it's been confirmed that John Shepard is like the default canon Shepard. But he's a soldier class, which again, I don't trust people who are like, oh yeah, I love playing soldier in Mass Effect. You're boring. You're stinky. What the fuck? You just play Call of Duty if that's what you want to do. This is a game that has magic alien powers, and you chose the one that's just good with guns.
It's literally the most boring version.
It is. There's 6 class. Okay, so for those of you who have never played Mass Effect, there's 3 different combat styles, okay? And there's 6 classes. Your 3 combat styles are pure combat, tech, and biotics. We'll talk about what biotics actually are once we start talking a little bit more about the story. But so then there's 3 classes. Each one specializes in purely one of those trees. Soldier is pure combat class. Engineer is tech class. And bear in mind, if you're an engineer, you can hack robots, make little drones that assist you in the battlefield and shoot your enemies or fire missiles. You can shoot fireballs and ice balls. If you're an adept, which is pure biotic, you're making miniature black holes in the air, which suck up the enemies, or shockwaves along the ground, which pop them up into the air. And then there's hybrid classes. The sniper, or sorry, what is it? The infiltrator is a combination of combat and tech. You have the ability to turn invisible for a short period of time, making you really good at sneaking around and getting in position with a sniper rifle. The Vanguard is a combination of combat and biotics, where you get a fucking super tackle where you biotically slingshot yourself across the battlefield, ramming into an enemy, and you're really good with shotguns. So that's a very high risk, high reward type thing, because you can deplete all your shields with a Nova attack and get really close up into the enemy's face and start shotgunning them. That's basically your Berserker or your Barbarian class. And then there's what I play, a Sentinel, which is a combination of tech and biotic. In addition to being able to shoot fireballs and make little gravity fields and stuff like that, I also get tech armor, which is good because I don't like taking cover. I'm a very
That's also my favorite class too.
there you go. I'm a very aggressive player, so having additional protection I can turn on very quickly helps keep me alive. And you could do any of those, and they were like, which is the one that like every other video game does? Okay, let's do that. Okay. Shepard is also an N7. I want to geek out about this real quick because I kind of love that I know this fact. Do you know what the deal is with N7? Like, do you know how the Alliance military ranking hierarchy works?
I believe it was something like you made a huge sacrifice for it, isn't it? Like you had to do something of serious importance.
Not really. Okay,
Okay, yeah, then I don't know.
so every member of the Alliance, like, okay, there's like your typical military ranking, right? Like obviously commander and captain and stuff like that. There's typical military rankings, but your ranking can go up or down based on external shit, right? Like nepotism or just being really good at ass kissing, and so it's like they kind of recognize that. So the Alliance made a separate ranking scale that is based purely on how good you are at your job. So the letter A through Z designates what your role in the Alliance military is. One will be infantryman, and one will be a cook, and one will be a medic, and one will be, I don't know, fucking janitor or whatever, and one will be communications. And so like whatever the letter you have, that designates what your actual job in the military is, right? N is the special ops division. They have to be good at pretty much everything. They have to know at least a little bit from all the other 25 letters. Why is it N? I don't know. You would think it would be like A or Z, but no, they went with a letter smack dab in the middle of the alphabet, N. So right away, if you're N, you're sort of seen as above all the other letters because you have to encapsulate abilities from all of the other letters. And then you start at 1 when you first like properly join the Alliance military. You go up to 6 the same way you would with a typical military promotion. Someone sees what you're doing, likes what they see, thinks you deserve a higher rank, and they go, all right, you're N2 now. Now you're N3, whatever, right? And with all of the divisions, you can naturally max out at rank 6. And at any time, once you're rank 6, you can take like a special test to qualify for the 7 rank. Now, for all of the other ones, it's just going to be something that pushes whatever your relevant ability is to its limit. And bear in mind, you can literally get promoted to rank 6 and then immediately that same day be like, I want to take the N7 test or whatever. Like, there's not a time requirement.
Damn.
Yeah, but for specifically the N7 tests, safeties are off. There is no regulation. There is no like, we need to make this safe for our military members. If you are attempting the N7 test, there is live fire, there is real world environment hazards. You could literally die taking the test. You need to prove that you can survive life or death situations, which is why a lot of people are comfortable just being N6. They're like, you know what? That's still very goddamn respectable. That means that I'm one of the best military members in our species history. So I don't really need that N7 patch. But if you do go for the N7 test and you do survive it, you come out being known as one of the best, not just among humans, but like in the galaxy. And Shepard did that. And I think that's neat. I personally am not a fan of the military, so I don't know if I'm ready to argue that it's like worth it or like super cool or anything like that. But for the purposes of this video game, I think it's neat. So
it just, the way you said it, it just reminded me of like a TikTok where they're like, I just think it's neat.
I just think it's neat. Yeah. So, all right, to explore the backstory of Shepard, we first have to explore the timeline that leads to Mass Effect. Up to the early to mid 2000s, even 2010s, I think, the timeline of Mass Effect is the same as that of our own world. And then I want to say in like, what was it, like 2040 or something like that? Or it was like 2025 or some shit like that. It was some kind of year, like close in the future. They made a manned mission to Mars. And on Mars, they found ruins of an ancient civilization called the Protheans. And reverse engineering technology that they found in the Prothean ruins jump-started our technological progress by like centuries. So within the next few decades, we were actually able to make manned missions to the edge of the solar system because we developed FTL travel, faster than light travel. Because in the Prothean ruins, they found something called Element Zero. And Element Zero is an element that when an electrical charge is applied to it, it can alter the mass of an object, thus creating what is known as the mass effect. Title drop. Mass effect fields can make objects within those fields more or less dense, which can create hard light shields or make a ship able to slingshot itself across the galaxy, or make a miniature black hole that makes people float in midair. Because that's the thing. Element Zero is also what powers biotics, or rather what creates biotics. So, hey, here's a fun, horrifying story that sounds incredibly realistic, like maybe too realistic to be comfortable. It was like, it was some Asian country. It was like Thailand or Beijing or some shit. They were transporting a massive amount of Element Zero, and the rig just crashed, and Element Zero washed over the entire country. And it was like Chernobyl in that a lot of these people were like covered in tumors and shit like that. And it was horrible. And yet,
that's terrifying.
Yes, it's awful. It's also incredibly realistic, which is even more awful. And then in the next couple generations, children born in that area were exhibiting minor telekinetic abilities. And they realized Element Zero could turn people into living Mass Effect field generators. And so they developed biotic amps, which is a technology that it's an implant that goes in your skull attached to your brain to computerize your ability to generate Mass Effect fields. So you can turn it on and off like a switch and control how it comes out. And so biotics became a big part of the Alliance military, because if you can throw a force ball at someone and send them flying 50 feet backwards while you're reloading your gun, that's pretty fucking useful to have on the battlefield. It's like you're a Jedi. So depending on, well, okay, let me get back to the state of the world though. So they hit the edge of the solar system and they find a big device floating at the edge of our solar system, and it's called a mass relay. And what it does is it jolts a spaceship that passes by alongside of it with a massive burst of element 0, just a huge Mass Effect field. And it literally, like, it combines with their faster than light core to just shoot them at ludicrous speeds across the galaxy. So bear in mind, even if you were traveling at the speed of light, to travel from one end of the galaxy to another would take like, I don't know, like 3,000 years or some shit. It's like a long time, right? Anyone that's not an Asari would literally not survive the trip. Or I guess a Krogan, but you get what I mean.
Yeah.
But with Mass Effect field, or with mass relays, you can plot a course jumping from one relay to another, to another, to another, kind of like bus stations almost. And you could be on the other side of the galaxy in like, I don't know, a couple weeks. Like, it's ridiculous. So this suddenly opened up intergalactic travel, and humans immediately did what we humans do. We found a planet and went, cool, this is ours now. And then, aliens showed up. Well, if movies taught us anything, we gotta immediately start shooting them and kill them, kill those motherfuckers. Yeah, war, baby, war. Woo, America. And First Contact War happened, and we started slaughtering Turians, and Turians started slaughtering us. And then a couple other alien races came in and went, what the fuck is happening? What are you doing? And of course, humans are like, what? You guys can talk? It's like, yes, we're more advanced than you, motherfucker. Who are you? Why are you just killing the Turians? Like, well, they came to attack us. No, they didn't. This is their planet. You just came in and tried taking claim of their planet. We have a government. We have a system of how things work. You can't just come in and take someone else's planet. Which led humanity to go, oh, whoops. This is not like what the vids told me. And that was how we became introduced to the intergalactic community, the council races. It was not an elegant introduction.
And that's why they have a lot of aliens have a lot of hatred for us, and later in the series.
It's deserved. We suck.
Yeah, we really do.
Which is why, like, I find it really difficult to play Renegade playthroughs, because Renegade is pro-human, if you catch my drift. It's space racist. You're a space racist, and okay. So the funny thing is, like, I've had to get in literal arguments with people about Ashley, Look, I don't give a fuck if you like the first pair of titties that you saw on screen in this video game franchise. She is a space racist. To argue against that, you have to be incredibly ignorant or incredibly disingenuous. She literally compares alien races to a dog that you would sacrifice to avoid getting mauled by a bear. Do you remember
Yeah.
that line?
Yeah.
She for those of you unaware, she goes, I don't hate aliens, but they're not humans. Like, I love my dog, but if I was getting attacked by a bear, it would be survival first and I would leave my dog behind. Well, first of all, that's fucked up that you would leave your dog behind. But second, you're comparing sentient beings to animals that we have bred to be subservient to us.
On a side note, I would rather save a dog or a cat than a human, not gonna lie.
Yeah, I mean, at least you know that the dog or the cat isn't going to have the potential of just being incoherently evil.
Yeah, exactly.
Um, if it's a cat, it's just going to be the normal cat level of evil, where they knock your precious belongings over. But they're so cute while they do it.
They're adorable.
I do love cats.
I'm very much a cat person over a dog person.
Yeah, when I was a kid, I thought I was a dog person over a cat person because I'd only had encounters with like 2 cats, and both of them were nasty as fuck. But now that I've encountered chill cats, I'm like, yeah, cats are better because dogs are hyper as hell, and that shit stresses me out.
Yeah.
10 morning, by the way. So
Okay.
yes.
Oh, sorry. I was gonna say after the time's up, I'm gonna reset my router and see if that helps at all.
Okay. Yeah, so okay, humanity became part of the how do you like refer to it? They're not part of the council races because they don't have a member on the council, but they're not part of the races, the non-council races like the fucking Vorcha and shit. Because like, okay, there's races that don't have representatives on the council, but are still part of council space, like the Volus and the Hanar, and the Elcor. Like, they're part of the Citadel, but they're not technically a quote unquote council race. But then there's people that are like specifically not part of the Citadel. Like, again, like I said, the Volus and the Batarians and shit like that. Or not Volus, the fucking Orcha and the Batarians. I don't know. They were part of Citadel space. The humans were. So the Citadel or the Council has a group of shadow operatives called Spectres. Which, you know, what's always funny to think about? We think about Spectres like the big action hero type badasses, but we also always make fun of Solarians for being dweebs. Solarians are the ones that invented the Spectres.
Yeah.
Can you just imagine like someone's like, according to my calculations, if I didn't, and you go up to him and you're like, hey nerd, give me your money, and he just whips around with the biggest fucking gun you've ever seen, and he's like, according to my calculations, you're fucked, son. You know, I think I just described Billy from Power Rangers now that I think about
it. Hey, side note, how'd that episode go, by the way? I didn't have a chance to listen to it.
The Once and Always episode?
Yeah.
It was fucking great. I love that special. It was so good. Did you watch it?
No, I just said I didn't have time to. I still plan on it.
Oh, I meant like, did you watch the actual special, not like our episode on it?
Oh, no, I didn't.
Oh, well, you should watch and listen to both of those things.
All
Uh,
right.
I can't remember. Do you like Power Rangers?
I never really had too much exposure to Power Rangers, to be honest. The only exposure I had was that movie from like 1990s with Ivan Ooze.
That's not great exposure. I have a soft spot for that movie, but it is bad. So, um, once and
To
always,
be fair, most movies from that era were.
yes, you are correct. Especially if they were based on a kids show. The Digimon movie still haunts me. Um, sorry, I was thinking about Terriermon. Okay, so uh, what what was I? Oh yeah. So anyway, humanity really wanted to get a seat on the council, and the first step towards that is having a human specter. And they're thinking of candidates, and in comes the player as Commander Shepard. So now we will talk about Shepard's personal history. We've set the groundwork for what the world is, what humanity needs, and in fact, they like right away they tell you that Shepard is needed. Like literally, the first lines of dialogue after making your character is describing Shepard, and somebody being like, is that the kind of person we want? What do they say? Oh, is that the kind of person we want protecting the galaxy? And then Anderson, voiced by Giga Chad Keith David, is like, that's the kind of person we need protecting the galaxy.
Mm.
So we got 5 minutes. I'll talk a little bit about the backstories for Shepard. So the default backstory for Shepard pre-service history is that he's an Earthborn, which means he was an orphan raised on the streets of the great megatropolises covering Earth. He was part of like gangs doing petty crimes to survive. And when he turned 18, he got away from that by enlisting with the Alliance military to go up into space. Um, his other pre-service history options are as a colonist, which basically makes him Luke Skywalker. He was born and raised on a colony called Mindwar. It was attacked by slavers when he was 16, and all of his family and friends were killed. And he was the only, he was one of the only people that lived through the experience. He was saved by a passing Alliance patrol, and he enlisted with the military a few years later. So it's very much Uncle Owen, Aunt Beru, no. And then there's Spacer, which is just both of your parents were Alliance military. You spent your entire childhood on starships and space stations. And so when you were 18, you decided to also be an Alliance military person. Have you ever played as a Spacer in Mass Effect 1?
I don't think so, actually, no.
You can actually meet Shepard's mother if you do.
Wait, seriously?
Yeah, I didn't know that until I actually started playing a character that was a Spacer. And in a mission, hang on, let me figure out which game it was. Let me see. Yeah,
I have a feeling it would be the second one. I don't know why.
in Mass Effect 1, you can actually call Hannah Shepard, Shepard's mom, and talk to her for a little bit. Mass Effect 2, if you're doing the Spacer route, she's mentioned in a news broadcast as having turned down a promotion to Admiral, as she believes serving as a captain of a starship honors her child's memory. And she'll send you an email saying you're alive. Oh, and in Mass Effect 3, if you talk to Hackett, he says that he recruited your mom for the Crucible. And that she was promoted to Rear Admiral.
Damn.
And if you play the Mass Effect 3 Citadel DLC, you get another message from her after the Shepard clone thing. And you can briefly talk about Shepard's childhood. So yeah, there's a few interactions with her, but in every other backstory, both your parents are dead. Or just like not around.
That's kind of funny, actually.
Yeah,
that is cool that you get to actually meet them, though.
Yeah,
or talk to them.
I think the only time you actually get to see her is in a scene in Mass Effect 1. All the others, she's either like mentioned in the background or you get emails from her. But yeah, she has like a character model and everything.
Damn.
I'm pretty sure. I mean, her page doesn't have the character model now that I'm looking at it, but I think I remember that. All right, we got about a minute left. I'm going to take this time to, yeah. Wow, she actually looks a lot like Dr. Chakwas. Oh, wait, or are these, oh, people made this. Never mind. Maybe I'm misremembering. Okay, I must have imagined it. Never mind. Well,
It's
anyway.
okay, we all imagine things.
What are you trying to say? Well, when we come back, we'll talk more about Shepard's actual presence in the storyline of the games.
Hello.
So, to wrap up Shepard's starting stuff, after you pick his backstory, you also got to go with his psychological profile. And again, the default is sole survivor, which is basically you were in a unit on a planet called Akuz. Your entire unit was slaughtered by a Thresher Maw, and you were the only person to survive. Now, you would think having, by default, a character with obvious PTSD would make Shepard a very interesting character. Let's be real here. I like Shepard, but Shepard is a meme specifically because of how stupidly stoic he is. Like, due to the voice acting of Jennifer Hale, Femshep has a little bit more personality to her. And obviously, choices you make can give Shepard a little bit more character. Like if you play a Paragon person that occasionally dabbles in renegade choices when people deserve to get smacked in the mouth, I think that's the ideal way to play Shepard, to be honest. Be a good person that eventually gets sick of your shit.
I agree with that.
But even still, the personality of Shepard compared to other characters in the franchise is quite milquetoast. It's also especially upsetting that people hated Andromeda so much because the morality system, almost by its very nature, forces a character that has the implementation of a morality system to be very bland, because then you can sort of fill in the blanks yourself with the morality system. You could be like, Shepard is stoic like this because he's a generic hero archetype, or because he doesn't like connecting with people emotionally because he's a space badass. It's like, well, neither of those are really true from the writing. It's just you can interpret it that way because he's such a blank slate. Versus the personality system of Andromeda, which is no matter what you do, Ryder is going to have a personality, but we have 4 different personality choices for you. And I think one of them is like a staunch and stoic personality. But even then, first of all, why would you pick that? Um, and second, I I think Ryder is still more interesting as a character than Shepard generally. I personally went for the sarcastic, humorous Ryder. It was a breath of fresh air from Shepard, where most of his humor comes from how overly serious he is.
Yeah.
Have you seen him dance? It's not good. I would not call Shepard a good dancer. In fact, his own squad mates make fun of him for being a bad dancer. If anybody ever needs a reason to play the Citadel DLC for Mass Effect 3, which is, in my humble opinion, the best Mass Effect thing, right?
Yeah.
Look no further than Tali gets drunk and starts twerking and shaking her giant alien ass, and Shepard's response is to start doing a little like suburban white dad jig, and everyone's like, "Whoa, good move, Shepard." By the way, did you ever actually get around to that Tali romance playthrough?
No, I didn't actually.
Look, I did the Liara romance playthrough like a year ago.
Listen.
Give Best Girl a chance. I gave Liara a chance. It was fine. Her romance is fine. It's still kind of boring, honestly, compared to Tali's, but I didn't hate it.
Yeah, I do have to give it a chance. I'm not gonna lie. I've been meaning to find an excuse.
Yeah, there's your excuse. Well, Blue won't stop bullying me, so I will, motherfucker. I will bully you. I'm gonna shove you in a locker.
Wouldn't it be the first time?
Someone tried to shove me in a locker one time, and I bashed their head in the locker door.
Jesus Christ.
No, because people were like, "Hey, it's a nerd," and if '90s movies have taught me anything, nerds are super easy to push around. But if they picked me, it was a bad time because I was horribly aggressive as a child.
I'm the exact opposite.
You're a beta male soy boy cuck, is what you're saying. Sorry.
You're fine.
No, like
I wasn't expecting you to say that. That threw me off.
what if this was where I just like revealed I was like a big Andrew Tate fan?
Cue that cringy music.
I'm not, by the way. Andrew Tate is actual human trash. But just I always think it would be really funny if it just like I put myself up as this really like reliably and morally consistent person, and then just out of nowhere I just have some really fucked up view like, the Jews run the media, right? Out of nowhere people be like, whoa, hold on. Where did that come from?
Oh my God. I had a coworker that actually believed that shit.
Oh God.
It was horrible.
Do you remember the conspiracy theory from like only 2 years ago or something that the Jews had like a space laser cannon?
Oh my God.
Like they were like they've got some like Death Star or Independence Day type shit. And I'm just left there going like, how do you people function in reality, man? Like birds aren't real. The earth is flat and surrounded by an ice wall. The Jews have a space laser.
Man, if we had a thread just for out of context blue.
Somebody get on that.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, speaking of space lasers, so you the other psychological profiles for Shepard are exactly what you expect, because Soul Survivor gives you both Paragon and Renegade points. War Hero is just you found yourself in a bad situation and you commanded your troops to victory, so you're very Captain America. And Ruthless is basically just you sent your troops to like die so that you could complete a mission. And so like nobody likes you, but god damn it, you get the job done. That type of thing.
Yeah.
Regardless, you get chosen as the candidate to try and be the first human Spectre. Now, this is where some people get a little bit mixed up. You're not the first candidate to be a human Spectre. You are a candidate to be the first human Spectre. Because Captain Anderson had a chance to be a human Spectre before Shepard, but that big donger Saren ruined things. Okay, speaking of Saren real quick, I saw a mod on Steam for the Legendary Edition where Saren has a normal Turian character model in the beginning of the game. Then halfway through the game, he has a little bit more technology on his body. And then by the end of the game, he has the normal Saren character model. And I think that works so much better because from the start of the game, he's clearly in transition to becoming a husk.
Mm.
And it's
Yeah.
like, yeah, the guy has power cables running up his neck. He's a bad guy. Like,
They should have done that actually in the game.
yeah, I
And
think
so,
it would enhance the experience.
yeah.
So I think that mod is really cool. But yeah, so Captain Anderson failed, but Shepard, he succeeds in proving that Saren is a piece of shit and becomes the first human Spectre. And he does so by recruiting his squad mates. We'll briefly touch on all of his squad mates here, including the ones from Mass Effects 2 and 3, just because like we got to get them out of the way, right? And the squad mates of Mass Effect are way better and more interesting than Shepard. So
Yeah.
the first two that you actually start the game with are Caden Alenko and Jenkins. And Jenkins is just there to immediately die, so don't worry about him. Caden Alenko, first of all, voiced by the same guy who did Carth Onasi in Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic.
Oh, really?
Yeah. He's like your first squad mate or whatever you want to call him, a companion in Knights of the Old Republic. So
okay.
it's appropriate that he's your first companion in this game too.
Mm. I never actually got to play that Star Wars game.
KOTOR is, you know, I used to say it's the best Star Wars game. It's got some tougher competition these days. It's still really good up there. And you know what? It's getting a remake. So if you don't want to play the old game, which you can get for super cheap on Steam or whatever, you should get the remake when it comes out.
Isn't the remake a PS5 exclusive? I thought I.
Maybe. Oh, guess what? That's not a fucking problem for me anymore. I own a PS5 now.
Oh, well. Well, guess what? I pirate games with
Yeah,
emulators, so I
there
don't
you
have to pay
go.
for anything.
I mean, well, you're gonna have a really good computer to emulate a PS5 game, though, aren't you?
I have a pretty good computer, actually.
Okay.
I mean, I emulate PS3 and PS4 games already.
Yeah.
Just recently, I've emulated Tears of the Kingdom.
For legal reasons, I cannot direct people to the Pirate Bay or other such websites.
I could never recommend OVAgames.com.
Yeah, all I can say is R, matey.
For legal reasons.
What?
I bought it legit on the Switch, and that's
Uh,
not a lie. Actually, I do have it for the Switch.
okay, so, yeah, all right. So you start off with Caden. He's fine. You know, it's funny because if he was put in a life or death, choose who lives type scenario with literally any other character, Caden would die. But Caden always lives in my playthrough because you have to pick between him and Ashley Williams.
Mm.
Ashley
And-
Williams is a bitch. And I see people trying to defend, like, okay, yeah, maybe she's racist. There's no maybe, she is.
No, she's racist, and I won't lie. I always choose her, but not because like anything like I'm racist or I like a pair of tits. Just because I didn't like Caden either. I just choose. It's for me. It's literally just like you pick and choose. They don't really change much in terms of story.
Yeah, you either get someone who's interesting but shitty, or someone who's boring but all right.
Yeah,
Neither one is a great option. I get that.
and regardless, almost never have either of them in my squad when I use a squad.
Yeah, why would you?
Exactly, they're both useless.
But they do that. So what's funny is that the game will always start you with two squad mates that represent Paragon versus Renegade.
Mm.
I mean, well, actually, to a lesser degree with Mass Effect 3, because of the fact that in Mass Effect 3, you're going to either start with Ashley or Caden, depending on who is alive. The other one has to be Vega, who is just, I guess, neutral, right? Like,
Yeah, I'm pretty sure actually.
But yeah, I've seen people trying to be like, okay, but don't you appreciate the story of Ashley going from an obvious space racist to eventually in Mass Effect 3 realizing she was wrong and trying to be better? And to that, I say, we already had that story. He was Presley. And
I'm gonna be.
Huh?
Continue. I'm sorry.
I was just going to say, and I accept a racist learning that racism is bad more from an old white guy than like a young girl, right?
Yeah. I was gonna say, I'm gonna be honest. I didn't even know she had that storyline because I cared so little for those two characters that I almost never paid attention to them.
Yeah, it's literally just like some throwaway line in Mass Effect 3 where she's like, you know, I don't think I had as much trust in all these aliens as I should have. They've proven to me that they're good people, which isn't really not being racist. It's just saying that you think that you're surrounded by the good ones, TM.
Yeah.
It's like, well, I still hate black people, but this guy,
You're one of the
here,
good ones.
he's one of the good ones.
God,
Yeah,
I
it's
hate
like,
when
I'm
people
sorry,
say
but that's
that.
still racist.
Just because you're not being racist to that black person specifically doesn't make you not racist.
Yeah, and like, if you still throw the N-word around like it's going out of style at the barbecue, then I have news for you. Having a black friend doesn't make you not racist. Yeah, so anyway, Caden and Ashley, they suck, whatever, moving on. So you then, who's the next one? Oh, Garrus, my boy Garrus. Garrus is one of the best fucking characters in the games. It's funny because like he is also kind of stoic, but like he's just so goddamn charming.
Yeah.
He's got like a swagger to him that nobody else can emulate. I fucking adore Garrus. And it's also great because his stoicism is really at its height in Mass Effect 1. And then he goes through some shit in Mass Effect 2. And he becomes borderline unhinged. Like he still has moments where he's just like around the water cooler, right? Where he's just like, hey, what's going on? Did I ever tell you about this story where I fucked this girl that was like in a combat sim with me on the spaceship. But then like you start talking about the right topics with him, and he's like, I will find that motherfucker. I will burn him to the ground. I will kill everyone that he's ever loved. I will slaughter the hot dog salesman that sold him food. And you're just like, Jesus Christ, Garrus. All right.
Have you ever romanced him?
I haven't, but I need to. If you can't fuck your homie in the ass,
You can only do. Well, correction. He'd be the one fucking you. You can only romance him if you're a girl.
You don't know what equipment I've got.
That's fair. I'm not judging.
It's the future. We're well past Cyberpunk 2077. Shout out to that game, by the way, for letting you like just be completely female presenting in all ways, but also just having a big old donger.
Yeah, right. Or vice versa, being mask all the way, but just having a fucking vagina.
Yeah, exactly. It's great.
That game was still based.
It is.
I love the turnaround they did too. Like, yeah, it had a shit launch. I'll be honest. I wasn't one of those people who actually experienced any bugs for the most part, but it really turned everything around.
I have been a defender of Cyberpunk from day one, because first of all, everyone wants to talk about the shit launch. Oh, it had a shit launch. It had a terrible launch. They should have never launched it as early as they did, except that they kept delaying the game. And every single time the game got delayed, you'd have these sweaty losers being like, I missed the birth of my firstborn son to play this game on launch day. And now you've delayed it. You've wasted my time and you killed my puppy. And now I hate you forever.
Yeah.
Every single time it got delayed, people were losing their fucking minds with vitriol. And so eventually they went, okay, we clearly can't delay it any further. We just have to release it. And then people went, why did you release it in this condition?
Yeah, the fans fucking be like that, and I hate them for that.
It makes me want to fucking grab them by their throat and shake them. Like, what are you doing? You are ruining video games for me.
I gotta ask you though, since you're such a big fan of it, like me, have you seen the Edge Runner series yet?
Oh God, best anime of 2022.
For real, I've watched that 3 times, and every time it still made me cry.
I get Vietnam flashbacks when I hear I really want to stay at your house now.
Yeah. That song.
So, okay, hey, remember the episode that we did about my OCs?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Remember how I told you that Amplitude, his blue lightning comes from being like really sad boy hours?
Yeah.
I've literally like had the thought of some like, you know how there's like videos of horrible disasters with some kind of meme song? Like there's a video from that movie about the flood in Japan destroying all the buildings and everything, and people put Ocean Man to it.
Yeah.
I've legitimately been thinking of like a scene with my character Amplitude where it's like that they're fighting someone and losing, and so one of his teammates starts blasting the song I Really Want to Stay at Your House, and you just see like the lighting of the area just gradually become more and more blue, and people are just looking higher and higher in horrified faces, and you see just a tidal wave of blue electricity just demolishing the buildings.
Jesus Christ.
It's just great. So what do you want? And it's just like zoom in on his face, like screaming.
I love it.
Because his entire thing is that he's a fucking dork, right? Like he is patterned after multiple anime characters, especially Dragon Ball Z characters. And so like that by design, in his own story, he's a weeaboo. if you want an emotional reaction out of him, play some weeb shit.
Honest, one more side note before we get back to Mass Effect.
Yeah.
I love that anime, Edgerunners, and I just love the fact that because of that anime, more and more people went back to Cyberpunk. Like their gameplay skyrocketed again after that released. Just to kill I can't remember what his
Adam
name was now.
Smasher.
Yeah, just to kill Adam Smasher, and
Yeah.
I thought that was funny as fuck.
Yeah, they were getting revenge for Rebecca. Not even David, Rebecca specifically. Well, I mean, yeah, David, but and in fact, I'm going to tell you my vision. I want a sequel season where, because the damage that we saw Rebecca had was okay. Some people are going to like get pissed at me, but listen, hear me out before you judge. The damage wasn't that bad. And yes, I'm aware part of her eye and head was like splattered and her like neck was broken. Listen, in the lore of Cyberpunk, they have gotten so good at revivifying people, resuscitating them, that dead now has to be categorized in 10 stages. If you are dead 1 through 9, there is still a chance, an increasingly low chance, but a chance of bringing someone back to life. It is only when you hit dead 10 that you cannot be resuscitated anymore. And yeah, that rank goes up as time passes. But like the damage that she had there was like dead 6, dead 7.
So there's still a chance.
There's still like a few minutes where somebody could have resuscitated her. And where was she? She was in the building, the underground of Arasaka. I'm just saying, if they did,
they're known for shit.
If they did a sequel season where they tried to weaponize Rebecca and she wound up having to break free of their programming and form a new resistance against Arasaka, especially in the memory of David, I would watch that shit.
Oh, I would watch it in a heartbeat.
So Studio Trigger, my favorite animation studio. If you're listening, make the lolly the main character. That pissed people off so bad too, by the way, right? Because there's this huge online thing, and I've complained about it on this series multiple times, where people equate lolicon to pedophilia, and it's like there are so many reasons that you're wrong. Actual psychologists will tell you that you're wrong. Actual Japanese people will tell you that you're wrong. It's very clear you're operating from a place of bias. And look, I get it. Some people are victims of CSA, and as a result, there's obviously going to be a bias, and you're going to have like a knee-jerk reaction to be afraid that people are like child abusers and stuff. I get that, but this is an adult character in a fictional world where people can slow time because of robot implants. You're not protecting kids. So it's like, because people were like, oh yeah, Rebecca, she's a lolly. And people were like, she is not a, well, I'm sorry, but the studio that created her and the show literally called her a lolly and was like, apparently they had to fight against CD Projekt Red to, and I quote, keep the lolly in the show. And
oh my God.
The Americans in CD Projekt Red were like, yeah, you know, at first we were a little skeeved out by that, but she wound up being the best damn character. So we're glad we kept her now.
She really is like the best character too. Like that's not even a lie.
Yeah, she's fucking great, dude. And And like again, I'm sorry if this upsets any liberal snowflakes. I'm kidding. No, I'm sorry if this upsets people, but like petite women exist, and you're not helping them by getting mad at people who like petite women in anime. You know, like to be like, oh, if she has small boobs and she's short, I think she looks like a child. Well, isn't that kind of fucked up to say when like there are real people with that kind of build?
Mm,
In
yeah.
fact, there's a lot of real people with that kind of build. Most women are shorter than men, and a lot of them don't have huge honking tits. So like, I don't know. It just seems like one of those kinds of opinions that you can only form if you've never actually touched a boob.
Yeah. Yeah, that's fair.
Anyway, sorry, rant over. Commander Shepard. Look, I don't really know how much we're actually going to be able to talk about the story of Commander Shepard in this, especially with the fact that I have to be to work in like 2.5 hours, and I still
Yeah,
have to shower.
this story is just so long that it's really hard to cover in like one episode.
I mean, honestly, we can do another episode. Because like the story for Mass Effect 1 is largely just Shepard thinks he's fighting Saren, who is a terrorist using weird technology to attack humanity. And then he uncovers a conspiracy that what he thought was Saren's flagship is actually a Reaper, an
Mm.
ancient, um, borderline eldritch robotic being that every 50,000 years they wipe out the sentient life in the galaxy. And 50,000 years ago, we were still cavemen, so we got spared because we were fucking monkey brain. And so we weren't considered advanced enough to be someone to wipe out. So he winds up having to fight Saren, and his quote unquote ship, the Reaper Sovereign. It takes like all the combined forces of everyone in the area of the Citadel, fighting this singular Reaper, and that Reaper being temporarily crippled because it has a telepathic connection to Saren. And in the final boss battle, Shepard kills Saren, and so that stuns Sovereign for a little bit. And so all the ships in the area just unleash hell on Sovereign and murder it. And they manage to close a gate that other Reapers from dark space, from outside the galaxy, were going to use to quickly get into the galaxy. And as a result, they buy themselves like, what's the actual time? Like 3 years, right? It's 3 years from the end of Mass Effect 1 to the beginning of Mass Effect 3.
I think it is, yeah.
Because it's
3.
like 2 years time skip to Mass Effect 2. The events of Mass Effect 2 happen. There was like maybe a month after the end of Mass Effect 1 to the beginning of Mass Effect 2. And then there's like 6 months between Mass Effects 2 and 3. So yeah, it's about 3 years.
Mm.
Yeah, so the actual story for Mass Effect 1 is pretty cut and dry because a lot of it is just setting up who the alien races are, what the political conflicts are, the twist that the Reapers are a threat. It's really the future games that go into the actual, because like Saren, he's a cool first video game boss, but he's incredibly simple. He's a guy that thought that he was using the Reapers for his own benefit because he was like, we can't beat these guys, so we should join them, prove that we're useful to them, and they'll let us live. While all the while he was actually being brainwashed by them into thinking that he was manipulating them as he was being manipulated. It was some 4D chess shit, and he was losing. And if you get really charismatic by the end of the game, you can make him kill himself.
Oh, I love that ending. I'm not gonna lie.
It's great because you literally just tell him, like, you're being a fucking idiot, dude. Their power is to brainwash people. Look at you. Half of your body is now technology that they can hack. You are being used by them. If you don't want to be a pawn of these monsters, there's only one way out for you now. And he's like, God damn it, Shepard, you're right.
That, in my opinion, I don't know if it is or not, but that's the canon ending for me.
I believe it is, because it doesn't matter, because he's still been filled with so much tech that the flesh parts of him just burn away and he still becomes just a robot that you have to fight. So there's still a final boss with Saren. You don't get out of it, even if you get him to kill himself.
I just love the fact that you can get him to kill himself, though.
Yeah. I mean,
most games don't offer an option like that.
Yeah. I think it would be really funny if games were like, yeah, if you manage to complete all the side missions and max out your level in charisma or whatever the equivalent stat is, that like you can just avoid the final boss fight by convincing them that it's in their best interest to kill themselves.
That should be more. Yeah, I agree. I would love that.
I'm sure it sounds like I'm joking. I'm dead serious, especially with like games like Undertale proving that you can fuck with the typical composition of what a video game is and should be, and people will eat it up. Legitimately, make a game like that where you can fuck with the ending of the game based on how high certain stats are.
They should, yeah. No,
I think it would sell really well because everyone's going to be like, well, I maxed out intelligence by the end of my playthrough, and as a result, I like pulled some Batman level manipulation and trapped my opponent at the end of the game. And they're like, yeah, well, I maxed out strength, so I was able to tank all of his bullet fire and just run in and start punching him to death. And it was like God of War, and it was epic. And then you get the dude that's like, I maxed out charisma and I made him kill himself. And the other was like, Jesus Christ.
Now, the one that maxed out charisma, that's the one to be scared of.
Yeah, for real. Especially if it's like we're going by full D&D rules where it's like, yeah, I max out charisma, and so I have a dragon as a pet. It's like, how did you get a dragon as a pet? And they're just staring at you, and it's like, how did you get a dragon as a pet?
Oh, shit.
What? All right. Well, look, we're down to our last few minutes. I'm going to say that I'm going to call this Shepard ME1. We'll do more Shepard episodes probably within the next couple months. So,
okay.
Everybody, thank you for listening. You can join the Cape Corner Discord. Link is in the description. You can follow me at Cape Corner on Twitter. For now, again, look, who really knows how much longer this Twitter shit's going to last? Elon's running that shit into the fucking ground. It becomes every day more full of crypto bots and Nazis. So I've never blocked so many people.
Yeah, it's becoming horrid.
Yeah. Maybe I'll find something else. I'll keep you posted on that. But you can also support me.
I was going to say there is a, I forget the name of it, but the Twitter devs who left Twitter made their own site again, and it's basically Twitter, but it's under a different name.
Oh, I'll have to check that out.
Yeah.
But you can support me on my Spotify podcasters page or whatever. Link for that is in the description as well. Works just like Patreon. I would appreciate anything you could offer. Check out the Hall of Pods podcast network. It's got the SJW Comic Book Club and True Believers, a comic book podcast, and Fandom Optimists. They're all pretty cool. Give them a listen. I believe that's about it.
Yep.
So,
yeah.
did you have anything you wanted to plug?
No.
All right. Well, once again, thank you for joining me. It's a pleasure having you on.
Thank you for having me. It was fun talking about Shepard people up.
Yeah, we'll do it more, like I said, because just time. So
Hopefully next time my internet is better.
yeah, that'd be nice. All right, everybody, thank you for listening. Stay strong, stay true to yourselves, and remember, we can all be heroes. I should go.